about that action, boss. Just about that action, boss.
Hey, welcome back to the show, A Shot of Fresh Jack. I am not your host, Fresh, here alongside with
Jack Swagger, Jay Swayze.
Jay Swayze.
Tell me how you feel about that, though.
All right. I mean, we can talk. When we start, we'll go.
Oh, I'm so ready when you are.
All right. So today we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna burn on a couple of things. Just real quick. We're gonna give it to you real quick and dirty. If you got 3, 4, 5 minutes, go ahead, tune in. Make sure you get that hit that like button too. By the way,
subscribe.
Make
all
sure you
the
subscribe.
things.
All right, so we talking about Zeke contract. Zeke has the title that he is now the highest paid running back.
Well, give people a little background kind of on the situation, right? So today is September 4th, 2019. Right. What's been going on with Zeke? Tell me what's been going on in Cowboys.
Right, so basically, Zeke had 2 years left on his contract that was going to pay him roughly, I want to say around 13 and some change million over the next 2 years. And Zeke decided to hold out and not come, even though he had 2 years left on his contract. Now, to give you a little background, for those of you that don't know, if you're a first-round draft pick, the owners in the organization, you're automatically signed into a 5-year contract, which means you can start to renegotiate that contract after the third year.
Yeah.
After the third year. So he played his 3 years and he wanted to renegotiate his contract, which that's what was going on for the past couple of months. You know, he was out of Cabo, and yeah.
I got a question. How you feel about the situation with them being able to renegotiate their contracts after 3 seasons, 1, and then 2, how you feel about Zeke specifically? You think he outplayed his original contract? Was he due to renegotiate, or should he just roll out the next 2 years? In your opinion, as a fan, and then as a football guru.
I mean, all right. So as a fan, man, I think I'm just happy that he signed some kind of fucking contract. And I'm happy that I'm happy that he out there. I feel like, you know, it's good for the team. It's good for the morale of the team just to have him out there. And I feel like as a fan, he deserved the contract he got. He overperformed his first contract, so he outperformed it. Now, as football guru.
Go ahead. Now you good. Go ahead.
as football guru, man, like I feel like everybody won in this particular situation. Zeke won. He's the highest paid running back in the NFL. He didn't re-sign the contract. He actually signed an extension. We'll get into that. The organization won because in 4 years and 3 years, we got Zeke for the next 8 years. So we have him right now. He's 24. We have him until he's 32. All right. And like in 2 or 3 years, we're gonna be laughing at this contract. You know, once Saquon Barkley comes in, he's gonna destroy the market. Like he's gonna destroy the market. You know what I'm saying? So like in 2 or 3 years, we're gonna be laughing at this contract. This is gonna be money in the bank. This contract. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we were able to renegotiate and, you know, do what we did, I feel like it was a win. We didn't break the bank for him like I thought, you know, he wanted, you know, with all of these talks saying, you know, he wanted 19, all this stuff. You know, he getting paid, you know, 15 mil a year roughly. So we got him for 8 years, 103 million. This is a six year $90 million contract, 15 mil a year. I feel like we won on both ways. I feel like he getting paid, we getting paid, and he's going to win in the long run because he's a Dallas Cowboy, which has 5, 6 primetime games this year. I just checked the Miami Dolphins; they got 1.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, what's that gonna get him? Like, you don't need primetime games. You just got to produce. Like, if he was on any team and balling, he would be straight.
Right, but you can't go to any team and ball. Anywhere you go.
I agree with you. What I'm saying is, if he was Zeke with the same offensive line and production, all the other shit, and he played for the Rams, and the Rams ain't on primetime, he would still get paid. He would still get recognition. He'd still get sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
The only problem with that is that you can't take our offensive line and put them for another team.
No, definitely not. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my perspective, right? As a fan on the outside looking in, especially specifically as a Raiders fan, is Zeke did to y'all what Khalil Mack did to us last year. He found out a player, the same thing that Dak might do to y'all too, is that he found a player that was comparable at his position, that played for a winning team, and he was like, he got paid, I want to get somewhere around that. Now, y'all was able to figure it out and pay the man, whereas the Raiders end up shipping off Khalil Mack and don't make no fucking sense. But I think it makes sense with Zeke because no matter where Zeke was going to go, he wasn't going to get the same production that he had with the Cowboys because they got that gangsta offensive line.
Right.
Feel me? So yeah, you can hold out for the money, but then what? You're gonna get paid and then not play or get hurt. Like you're not gonna do the same things with another team that you're gonna do with Dallas.
Right, and I think that's why I think we actually did get like a little hometown discount because had he seeked out a trade or somebody like they would be willing to pay Zeke more than that. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that Buffalo or who else need running backs?
Everybody.
Philly.
He could have went to Seattle, bro. And
Philly, Seattle.
Nice. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he wouldn't. I mean, he just wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been. It's a different.
It wouldn't have been the same though. It wouldn't have been. He wouldn't because y'all offensive line on a whole nother level, bro. Like legit.
They next level. We just re-signed Lael Collins.
Like on a whole nother level. It ain't even a joke, bro.
I mean, when you mentioned the offensive line, you mentioned the best guard in football.
They all made Pro Bowl. Gotta be all 5 of them. Got to.
3 All Pro. Let's look at All Pro.
Okay.
All right, so you had 3 All Pro. Travis Frederick didn't play last year, so he won the All Pro. However, he still was like either the second or first best center in a ESPN 100. Zach Martin was the only guard on the 100 list. And then you got Tyron Smith, who was rated as the highest tackle in the league. So, yeah, man, I'm satisfied with that, man. You can plug in, 2 more dudes. We got Lael Collins, who was projected to be a first-round pick till he had that potential murder charge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That dropped him out of the draft, and we signed him. We took a chance on him for like 1 point whatever mil. And then that next year or two, we signed him to like a 14 million, 2-year, 14 million. And now we just go ahead and we broke the bank on him just to go ahead and secure him. And, I think that helped Zeke. Like, man, I'm going to have an offensive line for like at least the next 4 or 5 years.
Shit, the biggest chunk of his career. Yeah. He's going to go out like Emmett, bro. Like,
yeah, no, he's going to end up going out like Emmett. Like, he's going to be all-time leading rusher. Like, he's led the league in rushing.
Wait, so you think he break Emmett records?
Nah, man. Nah. This is, it's a different generation, man.
It's a different league, bro. It's a different league.
The fact that we have Tony Pollard and like that. Okay, look. Jerry Jones is not stupid. Neither is what's the son name?
I don't know his son name, but
whatever.
Sonny Jones.
Whatever. He's not stupid, man. Like that Zeke's not gonna be getting 30 carries a game anymore. Like it's not gonna happen. Like you're not gonna pay a guy for the next 8 years and wear him out in 2 or 3. Like
yeah, you're not gonna grind him out like that.
Zeke might get 30 touches a game at max. You know what I'm saying? With Tony Pollard, I think what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a lot of Zeke. You're going to see a lot of Tony Pollard, and you might see a lot of Zeke, and you see a lot of Tony Pollard, and they'll switch series and switch plays and stuff like that. And then when it gets into 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, you're just going to see Zeke. You're just going to see Zeke to close out the game.
I got a question. Two-part question. Is that worth paying? That Jared Goff type money? Or does Zeke make Dak? That's the first part, right? So, like, is Dak a good enough quarterback where you need to pay him to keep him?
What's Jared Goff type money? You got to talk. You got
Jared Goff got an extension. I want to say it was 4 years. Hold on, let me look it up because I just had it. It was 4 years, like 115, 120 million, something like that. We don't get exact numbers, so we don't mess up the situation.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's real. That money real. All right, so Jared Goff got he got a 4-year deal worth 134 with 110 guaranteed.
Oh my God.
110 guaranteed. So is that worth that? Because we talking about comparable numbers, right? So Zeke got what was comparable to Todd Gurley, right? So is that worth that Jared Goff money? Or is Dak only as good as he is because he's got a running back as productive as Zeke?
That is definitely not worth that money.
Nah, he can't get 130.
I tell you what, the only way he would have got that money is if he would have held out this year. I guarantee you, the Cowboys are going to draft another quarterback and going to have that same leverage going into next year, and they're going to franchise him and give him that 26, 27 mil. Because how dare Jerry's like, how dare you? He's doing the hand. You know when they do the hands like that?
What's the problem?
Like, what's the problem? Like, how dare you turn down? What he turned down? 32 mil?
Oh, he turned down money?
He turned down $32 million a year.
I mean, if you could get 134, I would turn down 32. But if I'm Dak Prescott, I wouldn't turn down 32. Like if I'm Andrew Luck, I might turn down 32. But not Dak Prescott.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like let's be for real. Like he turned down 32 mil, said his number's around 40, and like everybody laughed.
Okay, so if his number's 40, right? That's not that far off for a quarterback. You could come in at 37, 38.
What has he done?
Everything.
What has he done even from a collegiate level?
Didn't he win Rookie of the Year? Like Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Who?
That.
Yeah, but Zeke.
But he got it. Zeke ain't got it. Zeke ain't got it. So, he did that. Y'all went to the playoffs twice.
Okay.
Right?
I'm gonna tell you what speaks volumes. Okay?
He the leader of the team. He the quarterback.
Let me tell you what speaks volumes. Okay, so you have what is called the ESPN Top 100, which is voted by the players, which he was on that first year.
NFL or ESPN? NFL, you mean?
NFL, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
NFL.
fuck ESPN. Excuse my language.
Right. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Unless y'all want to sponsor us.
NFL Top 100. The first year, man, I think he was above Derek Carr. The first year.
He was.
He was.
But I think that Derek Carr was injured that year or something.
And then the next year, he fell down a little bit to off the fucking list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like he didn't even make the goddamn list. So that right there lets you know how players felt about him. Like, yeah, he had an awesome year when he had Tony Romo behind him. But like that. Let me tell you. So I was out, and it's crazy because someone asked me that. It was like, who would you rather have, Dak Prescott or Jameis Winston? I was like, well, there's one thing I know. If it's 3rd and 12, Jameis ain't gonna throw no 3rd and 3-yard route. Like I know that. You know,
Jameis also might throw a pick.
Yeah, but he gonna try to get the goddamn.
He gonna try to force it. He gonna try to get that.
He gonna try to get it. So what makes him great is his worst enemy, which was his success. Like he wants to win, so he gonna do what it takes to win. Like what the fuck is a check down? I don't know what that is. He don't know what a check down is.
So did you feel like that was an upgrade over Tony Romo?
I felt like yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because his ability to be accessible, his ability to be on the field. Like, no, he's not a better quarterback than him. He can't even hold Tony Romo jockstrap on a bad day. I'm talking about on a
I wasn't a Tony Romo fan, but damn.
Yeah, like not even like on a bad day. But like Tony Romo was so good at what he did, man. Like, had he had the roster that we have now, like Tony Romo would have been making a run. Our year that we were supposed to win the Super Bowl was that year that we had T.O.
You had T.O., Jason Witten. Y'all had talent.
Yeah, and he fumbled the snap. And that was our year. That year we were the best team in the NFC. Like you
why was he out there in the first place?
Huh?
He shouldn't have been out there in the first place.
Very well, I understand. You know, but it was kind of one of those things that if it's not broke, then don't fix it. So a couple of times, I don't know, the times we did make the playoffs with Romo, the Super Bowl went through us, literally. Like Seattle, we had Seattle on the ropes, and had we kicked that field goal. Okay,
so I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't dislike them, but I'm not a Cowboys fan. I say this: every time the Cowboys do make the playoffs, their road does go through Dallas. No matter who they play in the playoffs, whoever beats them in the playoffs goes to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Green Bay, LA Rams, Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
Shit, who else? Somebody else that y'all played that
Right.
went. But in at least the last decade,
right.
12 years, anytime y'all made the playoffs, whoever y'all played, they made it to the Super Bowl.
Made it to the Super
Except
Bowl.
for the Vikings that one year with Brett Favre. That was the one time.
Yeah. That was the
one time.
Other than that, but they was
right. But what I'm saying, pretty much everybody y'all played that's beating y'all, because y'all beat a lot of people. Everybody that's beating y'all has made it to the Super Bowl.
Definitely. And
Giants. That's what I was thinking about. The Giants.
Romo Dez caught it. Oh yeah, Giants. You're right.
Yeah, that was only other thing.
Actually, we beat them twice during the season.
And then they beat y'all in the playoffs. Yeah. And both times they went on and won the fucking Super Bowl.
And they won the fucking Super Bowl.
Beat the Patriots. Beat Tom Terrific.
That's what you just named 5 teams? Was that? I mean, not different teams, but different examples.
At least 4 different teams in like 6-7 different years in the last decade.
Yeah. That hurt, man. It hurt because like watching Seattle win the Super Bowl, knowing that like, yo, had the snap been right, that would have been good.
Yeah,
had the ball to catch. Had they said Dez caught the ball, that would have been you. Like that.
They dicked y'all that one.
It's kind of like the Tuck rule.
Yeah, it is. They really, yeah, I mean, shit. I look at.
That shit hit home.
I mean, we ain't gotta talk about that.
I mean, that shit went through y'all, really. Like y'all was the best.
Yeah, no, it did. And I feel, you know what's crazy? I feel like if we would have went to that Super Bowl, we would have smoked them. We would have smoked the damn Rams.
I think so too, man.
But
I think so.
It is, the reason we lost that Super Bowl against the Bucks is the same reason why John Gruden came back to the Raiders as coach is he had so much intel. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. He was like, I know that dude can't do this. No, that dude can't do that. It's the same playbook. When they call that means this. Like he had the whole fucking blueprint. Like how dumb you gotta be? You got 2 weeks to prepare. I ain't calling nobody dumb. How unprofessional do you have to be with 2 weeks to prepare for the Super Bowl and you don't change anything against the former coach? Like you don't bring nothing new. You don't change no formation packages. Like everything's just like it's been working. We're gonna keep running it until they stop it. And like you be like, oh, he's just not gonna remember some shit that he installed for 10 years or 5 years. Like that wasn't smart.
Yeah, it wasn't smart.
I mean, and then our center was cracked out and didn't play, but I'm sure that
was crazy.
I'm sure
he just not showed up to like the
game. He went on a straight cocaine binge and disappeared for like 5 days.
Mother was chilling with Lamar Odom.
Oh, I'm glad I can laugh about it now. That shit was depressing at the time.
Yeah, man. But that's about all I'm burning on, man. Dak not worth
That's
it, man.
a good one, man. That's a good one. I got some more topics for the next one. We ain't gonna do no more this time, but I want to talk about Hard Knocks finale and your boy Willie Taggart and his comments about hydration. We say that for another time for sure.
Oh man, we just need some. We need some new water boys, man. It's just
we need some Adam Sandlers out there.
On and off the field.
Facts.
Oh man, dang, yeah, we gotta get on that one.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks. I gotta get caught up. I only watched 1 episode. How many episodes are there?
I think that's 4 or 5. I think it might be 5 episodes. Last night was the finale.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's when they made all the cuts and all that stuff.
Yeah, we gotta. I heard somebody was like, I was, I listen to the radio sometimes, and they was just saying like how this was like one of the worst Hard Knocks ever. That how like they haven't really been able to connect with players. They was like they were blaming John Gruden and the Raiders organization for the editing.
As a Raiders fan, it's pretty cool to get like access visually to your team that you read on the you know what I'm saying, on the scroll, like on Bleacher Report. You be like, oh, this dude did this in practice. Oh, you had this, little clip here and there. But it's good to see it on TV for the storyline. Fuck that. I will say though that they're right. This shit was boring as shit. Like if you compare it to like other Hard Knocks, like there were no big personalities to get behind, and I think that's because the editing or the recording itself was disjointed. It was like, okay, AB's over here. We're gonna cover AB when we cover AB, but we're not gonna get too in depth in that because we don't want to hurt his stock, right? John Gruden gonna do John Gruden. He was like the biggest star, and you had these random ass rookies, and all of them got cut. Not rookies, but random players, and every player they followed, literally got cut.
Damn, that sucked.
It was like six dudes who were like the quote unquote stars, the dudes you was rooting for, and they played well in the season. All of them got cut. I don't know what the fuck. But it was one of those like they didn't dwell on the star. They didn't get really on Derek Carr. They didn't really do too much with John Gruden. You had John Gruden in his little clips, but they didn't really dwell enough on the team. Even when they did the cuts, this is one thing that I had a problem with is especially with like the Cowboys and with the Browns, like they show the dudes come in and be like, oh man, like you did this X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. This is why I'm cutting you, this, that. Like you saw the explanation of the process. This one was like, dude showed up, went to the front desk, dapped him up, and then he was out, showed him in the locker room. Like, they didn't show the actual process. So I feel like the Raiders organization was limiting what they were allowing them to film, or rather allowing them to edit into an episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was the best part. I remember when one man, I think Vontae Davis was like, man, I gotta call my grandma.
Oh yeah, with the Dolphins one, yeah.
And then when they cut Ocho.
Yeah. So it was all those things where like I feel like the Raiders organization was trying to get in between like the process of telling a story versus them having which I understand, like, yo, you trying to run your organization and there's cameras all over the place, blah, 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 whatever. But if you agree to be on Hard Knocks, like you gotta let them get that access.
Right. And
like they were trying to deny the access to AB to a certain extent. And like AB could have been a whole season.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a lot of the cameraman was saying, man, they had like a lot of good footage that ended up getting edited out of the actual final cut and stuff like that, and just like they were just like over it. Like they were just like by like the third episode, they were like, okay, like we're just ready to just like.
I could tell that. So the first, you know what it is I feel like the NFL wanted it to be some great like ovation, like, oh man, you know, the Raiders organization historic. You got the Flame with Al Davis. They about to say last season in Oakland, historic, blah blah blah. You know, AFL. And then it was like, oh shit, this place might be a dumpster fire. We can't show too much of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those like, man, you got John Gruden, he's the face of the organization, so we're going to show him as much as we can. You know what I'm saying? You got Derek Carr, he's a wholesome boy. We'll show him just a little bit. You got AB, he's the talk of the town. We'll show him just enough to keep people tuning in and hoping for more. But other than that, we can't show any of the shit that goes on in practice. We can't show John Gruden snapping at this player. We can't show, you know what I'm saying, the miscues, or we can't show, you know, this dude balling out. Like, we can't show too much of that. We'll show a little bit of the game, and then we'll move on. We'll show this one dude and 10 seconds of his story of sobriety. We show this one dude with his mom, and that'll be your package. So I feel like the NFL and the organization kind of tried to edit it or limit it and keep it as clean as possible instead of showing like this place is these dudes fucking wild, man.
I mean, I don't think it was the NFL just because like they've never done that before. Like they've got you got Jews getting up in the locker room cursing at people. Hey, I don't know what y'all used to lose, man. Hey, we ain't doing that here. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, dang, like I had goosebumps. Right? I wasn't even like I'm not even a Cleveland fan, but I had goosebumps. I felt them. You know
but you ain't had none of that. You didn't have no meeting room stuff. You didn't have like coaches snapping at players like, man, you dumb. Like, how you missing the call? But like, you didn't have no players snapping at players. You didn't have no emotion whatsoever. So it was one of those. It was a. I don't want to say a horrible season, but it was not good. It was bad. It was bad.
Like, I mean, as a fan, man, that speaks volumes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like if I wasn't a Raiders fan, I wouldn't have watched Hard Knocks. I'm just keeping it real. I watched every season of Hard Knocks. If I wasn't a Raiders fan, I wouldn't have watched this season.
Damn.
And that's real shit.
That's
That's real shit. I watched it like, damn, that's good. I mean, I've already seen the game, so I know what happened, but but I'm a fan. I care. Like, they go on the cuts. I'm like, damn, I know all these dudes. None of them made the team. All right, let me see how they do it. Oh, they're not going to show it? Oh, they're just going to walk in and hand in the iPad and walk out? Oh, well, fuck. You just wasted my hour of my life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wasn't a Raiders fan, I'd be bad. So
Right.
that's why I was like, man, they should have waited till they went to Vegas. It'd have been more storylines, and it'd have been them for them.
I would have liked it in Vegas. How the players going to adjust to the
How they
ride,
adapt and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been good.
them
Look,
going out and stuff
new
like that.
stadium. You know what I'm saying? New different what you call it? Training camp vibes, all that kind of stuff. Like the most they had was like John Gruden waking up at 4 a.m. to pick up Paul Gunther at 4:35 to drive into the facility at 5 o'clock, listen to Metallica. Like that was the opening 10 minutes of Hard Knocks last night. It's like John Gruden wakes up at 3:45, gets dressed, brushes his teeth, hops in the car, drives around a corner, picks up Paul Gunther. Talk about, oh man, I remember I had to pick you up because I knew you was gonna be a head coach, blah 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 blah. Oh shit, I love Metallica. End of scene. Like this shit was like, bro, that shit was a waste.
It was kind of like that the first episode. Like the first episode, I was like, what am I watching? I was like, what? Okay, the wine. Okay, are they riding horses? What?
Yeah, but it's like, why?
What? I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And that was like a 15-minute segment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They be these long segments, they ain't worth nothing, and then it just be over. And then they be like, oh, they played a game tonight.
Don't get no background on the opponent. Like he does this, he does that, he runs good routes, he doesn't, like nothing. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Unless you want to add.
Nah, we'll do we gotta do FSU preview later in the week, FSU post, and then we'll burn on the first. You know what? Let's record. I'm not gonna include this, but let's record something with the FSU preview or post, and then the preview for the first Sunday of football.
I like it.
It is first Sunday of football this week. It's like holiday.
This is quite true. It's a holiday.
Yeah. All right. So this was good.
Yeah. I had to get it and get it out there. Get it to the people, man.
It'll be chopped up and ready to somebody like by at least lunchtime tomorrow, probably earlier.
Preach. Let me know about the brace.
Yo.
Yo.